couldn't get it done because they didn't know how to speak French. I said, well, just ask where French is. And when somebody gonna show up? The OSS came in because they called us to train. And we went up there, Camp David. It was at Camp David. And they found out, they knew we knew how to speak, read and write French. See? So they organized us into OSS people. They didn't make us OSS until they sent us to England. And then they put us in OSS in England. And England had used the system throughout England, as OSS had not yet filled out. So we had to do it over in England. And we did it by going from one location to the other in England, taking different things. One thing was maybe doing something with the railroads, blowing them up or something, and then moving to the next one all the way down. But that was primarily what we did until we got everything organized and we were able to do it in case we needed it.
Do you remember the particular circumstances by which OSS found you? And do you remember when you first met a recruiter from OSS? Tell me a little bit about that meeting.
Well, when OSS, first of all, the call came down to Camp Beauregard for me to report to Washington. I reported to Washington. That's when they sent me to Camp David. And at Camp David is where we originally became OSS. And that's why I ended up in OSS there. And what we were doing, it was taking up the things we needed to do wherever we went. And when the 66 showed I could speak, read, and write French, there was no question about what I was going to do. It was going to be an OSS. And I was in OSS until they sent me to England. And then from England, I learned different things because they sent me all over the English area. And from there, they decided that I was in OSS, so I was not going to be one of the guys that was going to drop in England, in France. That I had to wait until the unit I was working with would be in there to be able to do it, and that was Patton's Third Army. I ended up as Patton's Third Army and being able to pass the word to the unit that was going to do the operation, what the French in that area needed to do to help the American Army. And that's mostly what I did.
So you were essentially a liaison officer.
A liaison between me and the French to make sure that the Frenchmen who were in a certain location was furnishing everything they had to the American Army as they would move down around the area. And I did that the whole time.